What is up, everyone? Welcome to day 77. What is up, everyone? Welcome to day 77 of live day trading NASDAQ futures. We're on top step today with five combines. We're with five 50K combines. We have five 50K combines here, as you can see. Today we are on day 2 of PJ Trade's 21 one trade a day challenge. As you can see, yesterday, if you watched the live stream or you watched the video, we lost yesterday's one trade, which is fine. It was all within one trade. Go back and watch that if you haven't. Unfortunately, I believe. Let me just take it back. If you watched yesterday's trade, you would have seen that I took a short right at this area here, and I scaled in a few times. So I took a short here and I scaled in a few times, which unfortunately led to me being closed out right there. So I got closed out in my short from yesterday. That was my one trade, something like this, I believe. If you actually go back and watch the session, you would have seen that the original stop loss that I had would have actually stuck it through and hit TP if I kept it. So my original stop loss was 25 points up here. This is my original stop loss, and then my take profit was just below this point of interest here. So if I had paid attention into yesterday's session a bit more, if you see this part here, as you can see, I would have hit full TP if I didn't scale in too early in yesterday's trade. You can go check that one out, day 76 of my live stream. But, you know, we move on. Doesn't matter. That was yesterday's trade. Today's a new session. So, what do we have here today? Essentially, so in today's session, Asia session opened up right here in a bullish, not a gap, but it did open up bullish for today's session. Price came up, it made a high in the middle, and it came down eventually, tapping into the low or the right at this demand point of interest before spiking up. Now, I was expecting a strong break of structure. So this was the Asia protected high for the day, as you can see. This is Asia protected high. It came down and swept this, I guess Asia low. I'll just mark it up here. So price came and swept the Asia low. It made this break of character, break of structure. Now, to be specific, yes, it is a clear break of structure on the 1 minute. As you can see, there's a massive sweep. But as I was watching it play out on the high time frame, on the 15 minute, or even if we look closely on the 30 minute, it doesn't look like a clear break of structure. It looks like a sweep of liquidity up above. And so instead of this being a break of structure, I'm going to classify it as still a protected high, because it hasn't clearly made a break to the upside with continuation. It swept it, but as you can see, the next candles on the 30 minute is coming back and retracing. And so that was my entry criteria. It seemed to be a essentially, if we really consider it something like this, the counter trend trade, double top, got one top here, and the top here is, yes, it is a bit extended, but it didn't close, as you can see, on the higher time frame. So we've got the double top with inducement, and I'm going to take this counter trend trade to, I guess, something like a 0.618 of retracement of the fib leg. So if we pull up to that, as you can see, actually no, this is almost at the 0.786 area of the fib leg. So something like that. But I might get something in between. The reason why is I'm looking at this point of interest. I'm looking at this point of interest here, and I feel like that might be a more appropriate one to respect. Okay, so I'm thinking that might be the order block or point of interest that I might consider taking profit at. Okay, I'm not looking for anything crazy. If you actually have a look at my initial execution. As you can see here, I executed at this 12:45 minute candle at 23,832 on the dot. So that is where it is. My initial stop loss was a lot higher, right outside this part. However, as price had shown, had proven to me that sort of the entry that I've taken is a bit more correct, I scaled in a couple more micros, and that reduced my stop loss size. So that has brought it down to about 8.75 points, something like that, and has sort of averaged down my entry as I scaled in later. So you can see there, I took 3 micros in here. So I did 10 micros here, and I did 3 more micros in here, and at a pretty bad price, to be honest. Literally at the bottom, yeah. Yeah, I got a bit too excited, but that's all right. So yeah, we're gonna just look at just holding this one trade for the day out down to this demand point of interest. Now, I'm gonna set up a rule here. I'm going to take off about 50% of it. Take off 50% of the entry off at this 50%. Sorry, I take half of my trade off position size. Let's go. I'm going to do a limit buy of 5 here. Take a bit off at the 50% of the fib leg there, and which also equates to approximately 1.5 risk to reward. So that was just to make sure I take some off the table, and then I can move to break even. Okay, chat. I'll take a bit off there. So limit buy. I'll do another 2. Yeah, something like that. Okay, cool. So this is what we have for today, you know, keeping in mind with the 15-minute and the 30-minute. Yeah, as you can see, big sweep on the 30-minute, big massive wick there, indications of a potential reversal, not indicative, but yeah, we're just gonna stick with that for now, chat. Massive wick as well on the 1 hour as well, as you can see, huge wick. And what's a 4 hour saying? Yeah, it looks like the 4 hours potentially losing steam, potentially. So yeah, after, so my if thens are going to be, if it hits 1.5 risk to reward, take off half my position, move to break even, and then I will be trailing my stop loss behind the second last 5 minutes candle. So that's my standard trailing procedure. And yeah, that's what we have for today, chat. So we're just going to sit and closely monitor this trade whilst I do some other work. Could easily reverse at any moment. So I'm going to quickly hide my daily, not daily loss limit, maximum loss limit. There you go. Okay. Yeah, as you can see here on this, I guess this 1 minute here, as you can see on this 1 minute, there is a bit of a fair value gap at this demand point of interest. That's why I wanted to make sure that this this fair value gap here, that's why I want to make sure my take profit is quite tight. Small FVG there. So yeah, that is what it is. That's what we got here. I'm just gonna stick this out, chat. Says a lot of people are in the longs. I might be against the trend here, chat. Yep, tilt is still bugged, but that's alright. We shall sit with our trade here. And there it is, chat. Unfortunately, one trade today, one L, not a problem. Looking back at this trade, it looks like a potentially slightly lower probability trade considering that it's counter trend, especially now that the draw on liquidity after that the Asia high at the time being a bit early today was swept. I guess this is now a break of structure clearly. So the draw on liquidity most likely will be something like this kind of area here. Yesterday's high, I guess. So yeah, especially after the break of structure, it looks like price is going to head towards that. You know, the more probable trade, if I had just been a bit more attentive, would be taking the long continuation at the Asia low. So something like that would have been more probable if I had been a bit more attentive and sort of stuck to the more high probability setups. I did take a low probability trade today. Unfortunately, 2 L's, one yesterday, one today. But you know, that's all right. It's all learning. It's all learning, and yeah, I guess we'll just continue on. I will journal this trade, and I will see you guys in the next session tomorrow. Chat. All right.